Good morning. My name is Sheila Tony, and I am the Deputy Advisory Agency and the Hearing Officer for the scheduled public hearing for item number 3. This is a joint hearing for case numbers VTT-84453 and CPC-2025-5697-DB-PR-SPPC-M CUP-VHCA with environmental case number ENV-2025-5697-SE. Today is April 14, 2026, and the time is 10:36 a.m. The project site is located at 12555 West Ventura Boulevard, located in the Sherman Oaks, Studio City, Toluca Lake, Cahuenga Pass Community Plan. I'd like to go ahead and have my fellow subdivision committee members introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Michael Soto. I'm representing BOE.
Good morning, everyone. This is Miguel Crisostomo from Department of Transportation.
Good morning, everyone. Jeremy Silva, Department of Recreation and Parks.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Helen Nguyen. I'm representing LADBS Subdivision.
Hello, everyone. Representing Bureau of Street Lighting, Richard Tom.
All right, thank you. Before we begin, I will share some general instructions on the virtual meeting format. We will be following the agenda order. Agendas are available online through the Planning Department website. Meeting presentations are available at the link provided on the first page of the meeting agenda or by visiting https://tinyurl.com/valley share folder. That's all one word, Valley Share Folder. As I mentioned earlier, this is a joint public hearing which serves two purposes. One is to hear the subdivision case before the advisory agency, which a verbal determination is likely to be made today. The second purpose is to take public testimony for the CPC case as the hearing officer. I'd like to say that no decision will be made today on the CPC case. I'm here to listen, receive comments, and that will be incorporated into a staff recommendation report that will be submitted to the City Planning Commission. This case is scheduled for a decision meeting before the City Planning Commission on June 11, 2026. The commission meeting will be a public meeting. The commission may permit limited additional public testimony on this case, but today's hearing for the CPC portion is established to meet the legal notice and hearing requirements prior to the commission taking an action, as well as obtaining public input for preparation of the recommendation report. If anyone wishes to submit additional information to the commission or take exception to the staff report or recommendations, they should do so in writing prior to the commission meeting. When public comment opens for the item you wish to speak on, you will be instructed to press *9 on your phone or to raise your hand in the Zoom app. When it is your turn to speak, planning staff will announce the last 4 digits of your phone number or name, if available. Callers should dial *6 when prompted to unmute. Thank you in advance for your patience, as staff may need extra time to organize the callers. If you have any day of meeting submissions, please submit them at this time. You can submit them by email to the planner, whose email address is shown on the hearing notice. If you would like to receive determination letters for any of the agenda items from today's meeting, please add your contact information to the interested parties list. A link to the interested parties list is provided on the agenda. Please provide your email or mailing address and the case number of the item you are interested in. At this time, I'd like to go ahead and invite project staff Audrey Makonian to provide a brief overview of the project. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, Sheila. Good morning. My name is Audrey Melkonian with the Los Angeles Department of City Planning. The application before you is for a vesting tentative tract map number 84453, stamped map dated October 14, 2025. The advisory agency will consider a request for the approval of a vesting tentative tract map for the merger and re-subdivision of 4 lots, parcels broken into 8 portions, into 2 master ground lots, 3 residential airspace lots, 5 commercial airspace lots, and 8 parking airspace lots for the construction of a mixed-use development consisting of 814 residential dwelling units and approximately 775,968 square feet commercial uses on a 261,485 square feet lot in the C1.51 BL-Rio zone, as well as a HAROUT approval for the removal of approximately 521,000 cubic yards of dirt and removal of 240 non-protected trees from the project sites and 3 non-protected trees from public right-of-way. The advisory agency will consider a statutory exemption from CEQA as the environmental clearance for the proposed project. The subject site is located at 12501-12665 North Ventura Boulevard within the Sherman Oaks, Studio City, Toluca Lake, Coahuila Pass Community Plan area. As I stated, the site is zone C1.5-1BL-R-Rio with the neighborhood office commercial land use designation. The site is currently developed with commercial buildings and associated surface lots, which will be demolished and removed as part of the proposed project. In response to the application, BOE, LADBS, Zoning and Grading, DOT, Fire Department, Bureaus of Street Lighting and Sanitation, and the Department of Recreation and Parks submitted comments, which have been incorporated as condition of approval. Based on the application submitted, staff recommends approval of vesting tentative tract map number 84453, subject to the conditions in the draft tentative tract map staff report. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Audrey. Okay, so at this time, we'll hear from the applicant. Then I will take public comment. Finally, if people do speak in opposition or have questions, the applicant will have the opportunity to respond at the conclusion of the hearing. So we're going to go ahead and open public comment for item number 3 for case number VTT-84453 and CPC-2697-DB-PR-SPPC-MCUP-VHCA. Any members of the public wishing to speak on this item are invited to give public testimony. Excuse me, I've missed the applicant. I apologize. I have a script and I missed the applicant, so my apologies. So at this time, I'm going to go ahead and hear from the applicant, and then we'll take public comment. So public comment is not open yet, period. So just want to clarify. So we'll be hearing from the applicant, and then we'll take public comment. Finally, if people do speak in opposition or have questions, the applicant will have an opportunity to respond at the conclusion of the hearing.
Okay, I'll be presenting on behalf of the applicant. I just have a brief PowerPoint, if I could go ahead and screen share quickly.
And can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, of course. I'm Kason Hall with SOMIS, representing on behalf of the applicant team.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, great. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So good morning and thank you for joining us today for the hearing on Riverwalk Studio City project. This is a proposed mixed-use development with an associated tract map. Today's presentation will cover case numbers VTT 84453 and CPC 2025-5697. My name is Kason Hall with SOMIS, and I'm a planner representing the applicant. I'll walk us through some key highlights of the project, and we also have the project applicant as well as project consultants on the call as well that can help answer any specific questions. So the project site is located at 12501 through 12665 Ventura Boulevard, and it's just under 6 acres total. It is bound by Ventura Boulevard to the south, Valley Heart Drive to the north, Whitsett Avenue to the east, and commercial uses to the west. The Los Angeles River also runs directly north of Valley Heart Drive. The site is zoned C1.5 1VL RIO, and it's within the Ventura Cahuenga Boulevard Corridor Specific Plan. The site is currently developed with 1- and 2-story commercial buildings and surface parking lots. The project site is in a walkable area, and it's ideally located for the proposed mixed-use development because it's near other similar uses, has existing public transit connections, and is integrated with existing area amenities and context. The applicant proposes to redevelop the site by removing all existing buildings and surface parking and constructing a new mixed-use project consisting of 3 7-story buildings with a total of 814 residential units. This includes 46 units designated for very low income. The project also includes 3 2-story commercial buildings, providing just under 76,000 square feet of commercial space. The project will provide nearly 90,000 square feet of open space to serve the residential buildings, and this includes 2 outdoor pools, multiple courtyards, and over 21,000 square feet of private open space. The applicant is proposing 1,806 parking spaces within 4 subterranean levels. The parking spaces will be designated for residential and commercial use separately. Vehicular access will be provided through 2 driveways on Ventura Boulevard and 2 on Valley Heart Drive, and the project proposes a new traffic signal at the main Ventura Boulevard entrance. The commercial and residential portions of the project will be linked aesthetically by design, but will have individually distinguished by colors and materials that will create 2 distinct districts. A centrally located landscape plaza will anchor the commercial district, and it will open directly to the LA River multimodal trail entrance at Valley Heart and Whitsett, enhancing walkability and activating the area. There are several entitlement requests associated with this project. First, the project is requesting a 25% density bonus by reserving 7% of the base units for very low income. Along with that density bonus, the applicant is requesting several waivers and incentives, including increased FAR, increased lot coverage, increased height, reduced rear yard setback, a waiver of transitional height requirements, and a waiver to allow volume averaging with hybrid cutouts and stepbacks. Second, the project requests a project compliance review under the Ventura Cahuenga specific plan. Third, the project requests a Class 2 master conditional use permit to allow the full line of alcohol for on and off-site consumption within the restaurant spaces. And fourth, the project requests a project review because the project includes more than 50 units. Fifth, a vesting tentative tract map is requested to subdivide the site into 2 master ground lots and multiple airspace lots for phase development. And finally, the project is being submitted under AB 130, which provides a statutory CEQA exemption for qualifying housing developments. The vesting tentative tract map proposes to subdivide the site into 2 master ground lots for 2 phases of development, 3 residential airspace lots, 5 commercial airspace lots, and 8 airspace lots for subterranean parking. The project will be built in 2 phases, 1 for each ground lot. This slide shows the isometric view of the proposed lots, which helps illustrate how the subdivision is organized. Lots 1 and 2 are the master ground lots for each development phase. Lots 3, 4, and 14 are residential, lots 5 through 9 are commercial, and lots 10 through 13 and 15 through 18 are for subterranean parking. As I mentioned earlier, the project will be built in 2 phases. Phase 1 includes 2 of the residential buildings, all of the commercial buildings, and 4 levels of subterranean parking. And phase 2 includes the final residential building and its associated 4 levels of subterranean parking. Throughout the entitlement process, the applicant has conducted extensive community outreach led by Nicole Kuckluck-Waldman, who's very familiar with the Studio City area. Outreach has included engagement with the Studio City Bid, Neighborhood Council, and Chamber of Commerce, Harvard Westlake School, Council District 4, Friends of the Los Angeles River, and many surrounding property owners and tenants. The project also maintains an active website, Instagram, Facebook, and Nextdoor presence where updates, event notices, and contact information are regularly posted. The team has also attended multiple community events, presented to the Neighborhood Council in October 2025, and is scheduled to present to the Neighborhood Council Board on April 22nd, 2026. The applicant also mailed notices to surrounding neighbors and hosted open office hours to answer questions and discuss the project directly with community members. We would like to thank Audrey Melkonian and the Los Angeles Department of City Planning for all the hard work getting to this point. The applicant team has reviewed the Vesting Tentative Track Map staff report, and I would like to note a few minor items for the record. The map in the case file currently shows a 5-foot dedication on Ventura Boulevard. This was initially anticipated based on BOE's preliminary review. However, the full BOE report, it was determined that the dedication is not required. The applicant has prepared an updated map to stay consistent with the BOE recommendations in the staff report, and this map will be used for future review and for the final map compliance. Additionally, the relevant permit listed on page 1, paragraph 4 was the preliminary zoning assessment conducted by LADBS and is not the full building permit application. And finally, the lot size listed on page 1, paragraph 1 could be updated to read 261,240 square feet to match the application, and the proposed grading could be updated to read 521,000 cubic yards. These are minor typos to be corrected. The applicant will comply with all of the proposed conditions as written. To close, this project will provide more than 800 new apartments, including affordable units, and add commercial space that strengthens local employment, community life, and daily activity. It will activate Ventura Boulevard with a new pedestrian-oriented use, an enhanced streetscape, and distinctive landmark that adds lasting value to the community and surrounding area. With that, we're happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Kason. First, I'd like to thank you for your presentation and your PowerPoint. That was very helpful to see illustratively. First, I'd like to ask Audrey, do you accept the changes in the staff report?
So the typos, the only typo that needs to be corrected is this cubic yard. That will be corrected. The rest of them are not typos.
Okay, so the dedication, there's no dedication on Ventura.
The dedication is based on BOE comments, and BOE, I think, should speak about that.
We will address that then. Okay. Okay. I'd like to, just for the record, and we have a lot of people on the call so that public understand. Kason, can you go back in your presentation and just kind of show it, maybe hover like your mouse over your PowerPoint and show where the site access, the 2 driveways you were talking about to access the site and circulation. That would be helpful for members of the public to see that, if you're able to do that.
Yes, let me pull up the site plan. Give me one moment.
And just kind of walk us through it.
Okay, great. Okay. Let's bring it up. Okay, so the red arrows that you see here on the proposed site plan are the proposed vehicular access to the subterranean parking, and the new traffic light kind of main entrance that I mentioned is this one right here. And then, yeah, there's one other entrance on Ventura at the end, one on Valley Heart here, and then one on Valley Heart here for the commercial spaces.
Okay, so can you just state into the record so I see it? So Valley Heart entering the site and then exiting the site is off of,
Let's see.
Sorry, it's a little small on my end.
No, it's okay. Let me see if the site plan itself might. So this site plan doesn't have the arrows, so I think, yeah, that other one is probably the best to show. So I believe there's in and out, on this main one, definitely, and then I need to go into the site plan, and confirm, if there's in and out, on all of them, but definitely on this main one. On Ventura, which is, mid-block.
Okay, great. And again, where's the signal is
It's
street
Yeah,
signal?
it's proposed in this mid-block, and you can kind of see the proposed new crossings here. And these will all be subject to, you know, future review by the city and B permit. But so this is the proposed traffic light.
Great.
Yeah,
And-
and all of the, sorry, I'm just getting confirmation, all of the entrances will be both in and out.
Okay, and then as far as during construction, can you summarize or just briefly explain your staging plan and where you'd like to put all the equipment to build phase
Yeah.
1 and then mhm.
Okay, so I have a staging plan. This is from our contractor. So they're going to work on the project from west to east. So the western portion, this is for phase 1 specifically. Let's see. So the western portion of the site will be used for staging.
Can you show over hover over the
Yeah.
area for members of the public to see?
Yeah, definitely. Let me, 1 second. I just want to make sure I'm,
Yeah, take your time.
yeah. So phase 1, essentially the divide is this courtyard. So phase 1 will be constructed first, with building 2, it looks like being the first construction, followed by building 3. So they're essentially moving from west to east on the project site, and then phase 2 is over on this side, and that will be constructed second, following phase 1.
Great. And what is your estimated timeline for phase 1 and phase 2 for construction?
Yeah,
to
so
completion?
phase 1, let's see, the demolition and site work is estimated at 5 months total. And then the excavation and shoring is estimated at 22 months. And then the first building, building 2 is estimated at 29 months, followed by building 3 at 26 months. And they're going to be staggered by 5 months. And then for phase 2, demolition would be 1.5 months, with excavation and shoring at 18 months, and then 28 months for construction of building 4.
Great. Okay, I don't have any questions at this time, so we're going to go ahead and proceed, but we may have more questions as we move forward, okay?
Great.
All right, so then with that, we will now open up public comment for item 3, case number VTT-84453 and CPC-2025-5697-DB-PR-SPPC-MCUP-VHCA. Any members of the public wishing to speak on this item are invited to give testimony at this time. If you'd like to speak on this item, please press star 9 on your phone or the raise hand icon on the Zoom app. To ensure that you are heard clearly, please be mindful of background noise. Ms. Letha, can you provide a number of participants wishing to speak on this item?
Currently we have 10 and counting. Do we want to remind them of the time limit that they are to speak?
Yes, so I'm going to give everyone 2 minutes to speak. So again, be mindful of what you have to say, and please limit everything to the subject matter and to me as the hearing officer, or to the subdivision committee if you're speaking about the subdivision case. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed with the instructions for public comment. So when it is your turn to speak, Ms. Letha will call out the last 4 digits of your phone number or name if available. You will then hear a message that states you are unmuted. Please state your name clearly and then proceed with your comment. At the end of the time limit, I will ask you to wrap up your remarks. Soon thereafter, your audio will be muted, and we will move on to the next caller. I believe the council office is here, and I believe they would like to go first. And I believe that's Ms. Arminta.
Hi, yes, thank you. Good morning, advisory agency members. I apologize if there's background noise. I'm in an open space, but good morning, advisory agency members. My name is Armida Reyes, Planning and Housing Deputy for Councilmember Nithya Raman of the 4th District. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today regarding the proposed project at 12555 Ventura Boulevard. Our office understands the applicant is requesting a vesting tentative tract map to subdivide the site into master ground residential, commercial, and parking airspace lots. The proposal would allow for the development of a mixed-use project, resulting in a net increase of more than 800 residential units and approximately 80,000 square feet of commercial space on an existing commercial site located within a high-resource opportunity area. The project would also include 46 units designated for very low-income households. The project utilizes incentives available under the State Density Bonus Law and Assembly Bill 130. No additional incentives or waivers are being requested that would trigger additional discretionary review. Furthermore, the project qualifies for a CEQA exemption under applicable state guidelines. The Department of Transportation has recommended funding 3 signal improvements as voluntary measures. Our office understands that the applicant is currently considering these recommendations, and we encourage them to move forward with their implementation. These improvements would enhance community safety and improve traffic circulation along surrounding arterial corridors. In addition, the proposed project includes new signalized intersections and crosswalk enhancements to support safer vehicular and pedestrian crossings along Ventura Boulevard, as well as broader pedestrian improvements throughout the project site. Other public benefits include improved parking access to the Los Angeles River for cyclists and pedestrians, a pedestrian plaza designed to serve both retail and restaurant visitors and residents, a 20-foot wide mid-block connection accommodating pedestrians and emergency vehicle access linking Ventura Boulevard to Valley Heart Drive and the Los Angeles River, preservation of existing 1950s bull sign. Since July 2025, the applicant has conducted extensive community outreach, including presentations at neighborhood council meetings and on-site engagement at the project location. And we look forward to learning more about the proposal and to hearing feedback from the board and the public as the review process moves forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Okay, with that, Letha, we can go ahead and proceed with members of the public who'd like to address the hearing officer and the subdivision committee.
Okay, we first have Alexander Stacco. You can go ahead and unmute yourself and speak at this point. Alexander Stacco.
Hello,
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hello there. Thank you so much for the information and to all the committee members, etc. I'm a resident here, homeowner in the western part of Studio City. So I appreciate the overview and understand the goal of adding housing, but I'm trying to understand better the balance between what's been requested and what the community receives. So here's my question, I guess, for the broader team and the representative of the development company. I've seen that you're requesting multiple waivers, including increased height, reduced setbacks, and a CEQA exemption. What is the concrete community benefit in exchange beyond just the 46 affordable units? Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Patty Toll. Go ahead and speak at this point. Patty, you have 2 minutes.
Hi, Patty Toll here. I also live in Studio City on the west side of the Studio City area, not too far from Sportsman's Lodge complex that opened up. We're having so much difficulty with not proper traffic control in this area. And one of the issues we've had, I live in a very small building, 12 units, at least 3 people have had car accidents simply trying to exit our street during normal business hours with people driving too fast. There's not enough stop signs. There are no crosswalks. And with the addition of this remarkable project, it sounds great, we're going to be impacted even further. So my concern is that there have been proper traffic and pedestrian exams to determine whether this is going to hurt us even more. Literally, I cannot exit from Woodbridge to make a right turn onto Coldwater, which is the right way, in the morning because it's so backed up with people going over the canyon, going to Harvard Westlake, and I don't see anything being addressed with the simple things, so this is a big one. How's this going to be addressed? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we do have Andy Kopus. I'm sorry with your last name, but Andy K. And you can unmute yourself at this point. Andy, if you can unmute yourself.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I am a resident of Valley Village, and I have several questions, I believe, that do deserve consideration. Number one, there's a tremendous bottleneck at the corner of Ventura Boulevard and Whitsett in the morning, because people will use that as a shortcut to get to Laurel Canyon. And there's a similar bottleneck at the corner of Coldwater and Ventura Boulevard. That's my topic number one. The next thing is 7%, I believe, is low income. We need to define what exactly low income is, because I think in this area, it's certainly higher than other places. There might or might not be parking fees for commercial use. And last and not least, I'm wondering about the additional automobiles as a result of 814 units and the strain on the already stressed out water and electricity resources that we have. So anyway, thank you for hearing me.
Okay, next we do have Steve Wolf. Go right ahead, Steve. You can speak at this point, 2 minutes.
Yes, hi. I'm representing the Sunswept Hill Neighborhood Association, which is the hillside community just south of the project between Fairway and Whitsett / Laurel Terrace Road. I'm speaking in support of the project with some significant concerns. Specifically what Andy and Patty are talking about too, which is the bottlenecks at Whitsett and Coldwater. We currently cannot egress or make left-hand turns off of onto Whitsett from Laurel Terrace, and the timing on the light at Fairway is also putting us back 10 to 15 minutes at times, depending on how the lights are changing. Coldwater and Laurel Canyon are already overburdened, and it can take anywhere, an hour during rush hour traffic to get across the hill. I'm very concerned about the addition of not only 800 units across the street from us, but also the 800 units that they're talking about adding to Sportsman's Lodge. And I'd like to know what the city and you guys are proposing and how to mitigate the effects of adding additional vehicular traffic, pedestrian traffic, and the concerns that we have from getting out of our neighborhood and from a safety standpoint. So I really look forward to options for talking about the addition of 3 lights that Armida was talking about, and possibly integrating or extending the boulevard could be considered. But this is a real significant concern that we're already looking at, and I'd like to know what you guys.
Thank you, Andy, and I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Wolf. And we're going on to Marion King. You have 2 minutes. Thank you.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you. 2 minutes.
Hey, yeah, I looked at this project and my concerns really is the riverside. Looking at this, it really should be the quiet side. There's bird habitat along the river there. It should have less lighting, less noise, and more green space. For example, there's a concrete sidewalk that's proposed with no parkway. It needs a parkway. I mean, people are going to have walk their dogs and they're going to need to have a place to go. Plus, it just complements the riverside. So, it'd be great to have a little bit more environmental enhancement on the Valley Heart. The other concern are the street lights on Valley Heart and the placement of trees. If the applicant could look at this more closely, because street lights require 20 feet distance from trees. So whatever you are showing on your landscape plan to be planted may not be allowed. And thus we get less trees, not more. I would say let's do less street lights. We don't need one every 140 feet on the riverside. I'm a little concerned with the reduced rear yard setback at 1.5 feet. I think it needs a little bit more room, and maybe that waiver, the 5-foot dedication, would give you that, where you could have more green space on Valley Heart. And then as far as the front goes on Ventura Boulevard, I think alternating shade trees on either side of the sidewalk would provide much needed shade, because otherwise it's going to be unbearably hot. And that's all I can think of right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now we have Peter Austin. Peter, go right ahead. Peter, go right ahead.
Push the button, unmute. Hi there, how are you? Marianne King, I haven't talked to you for 10 years. Nice to hear you. We are the owners of the project across the street at 12582 Ventura Boulevard, and we have been negotiating with the 555 project, and it's a great project. We're negotiating with respect to the signalized intersection, and what we need is for our parties to agree if they can move their project driveway a little east by about 30 feet. That will nicely link up with our project so we both can build. We are filing our MOU on Friday of this week, and we will have our entire package into planning by June for our program, not only on Ventura, but up above in Sunswept. We are spending $30 million to save the Sunswept Bridge. It's in dire need of a lot of landslides in there. Anyway, the proposed signalized intersection now blocks us from using our long planned driveway from Ventura Boulevard. We've had it in for years. We filed an MOU in April of 2025. We filed a project continuation in October of 2025. And we're now filing an MOU now for our increased project. Our increased project is 177 apartments, 32,000 square feet of restaurant, 130 child daycare center. So we do have a couple of questions though. We ended up with a fairly big queue in our building, which means people turning left, turning right. We had to extend our building underground in our first underground garage space to create lanes. And we're wondering how the 12555 project addresses their queue. We come up with almost a 600-foot queue inside the building for traffic leaving. And the last issue is, what is the length of the queue on left turns coming into the...
Thank you, Peter. And we're now moving on to Robin and Eric. You can now speak. 2 minutes, please. Robin and Eric, you can now speak.
Hi, good morning. My name's Robin, and I grew up in the San Fernando Valley, still live here, grew up on Goodland Avenue. And I just wanted to say that I'm really excited to see that we're improving all along Ventura Boulevard. I think that area is very underutilized and presents a great opportunity to add housing for all incomes and great community amenities and improvements. I'm excited to see what is going to go there. Of course, my family and I will miss Pinz and a few of the old tenants that have been there for a long time, but I'm excited for what's to come.
Thank you so much. We can now move on to number ending in 8533. Again, telephone number ending in 8533. You can now speak. 2 minutes, please. Please unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can
we
you hear
can.
me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. Our family moved to Studio City in 1986, and upon retiring from the city of Los Angeles, I ran for and was elected to the initial Studio City Neighborhood Council. Today, our daughter operates a business in Studio City. Her children went to Dixie Canyon Elementary School, as did their mom and uncle. Opposing the Harvard Westlake takeover of Studio City golf and tennis, I saw an intersection of politics and big money, not unlike what I witnessed and reported while working for LA City, only to land on deaf ears. And now here it comes again. Predetermined outcome following the charade of a public input process, pretending to responsibly listen to the wishes of residents and stakeholders, but with Harvard Westlake graduates on the planning board refusing to recuse themselves, it revealed to the rest of us what they and their billionaire developer classmates and friends have known all along. As recently as April 9th, the LA Times reported the continuing population decline in Los Angeles. It's too expensive to live here. And instead of lowering the cost of living, planning department perpetuates the cycles of economic inequality. We don't need more housing in Studio City. We need safe schools and streets, open space, and a manageable cost of living. Considering the impact of Sportsman Lodge, the Harvard Westlake Sports Godzilla events, and their busing plan, we don't need more congested streets jeopardizing our community's well-being. Stop it, for God's sake. The proposed development is an abomination and a continued assault in the name of profit. Shame on you for enabling this unwanted and unneeded atrocity. Thank you.
Sir,
Thank
can
you. Moving on.
Sorry, excuse me, Letha. Sir, can you state your name into the record? The caller who just spoke, can you state your name into the record, please?
Caller ending in 8533 who just spoke, we would need you to state your name into the record.
Hello,
so
can you hear
unmute
me?
yourself. Yes, we can. Thank you.
You want me to state? This is very confusing. I can hear 3 or 4 things going on. Did you want me to state my name? Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Hello?
can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. And yes, we need you to state your name clearly that we
Jack?
might record it in the
Yes,
record.
my name is Jack Fornoff.
Okay, Jack, thank you so very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Moving on to the next caller, I have a phone number ending in 8973. Again, 8973. You're now able to speak. Please unmute yourself. You have 2 minutes. Thank you. You would need to unmute yourself, 8973. Thank you. Okay, we're moving on, and we now have Blake to speak. You now have 2 minutes. Thank you. If you can please unmute yourself.
Hello?
Hi, you now have 2 minutes. Thank you so very much.
Hi, is this for, am I on?
Yes, you are. We are
Oh,
able
hi,
to hear
sorry
you.
about that. Hi, yes,
No worries.
sorry, I was switching screens. Yes, my name is Blake, and I just wanted to share support of the project. I've used, the different shops in in that little corridor there, like Staples and I've eaten at Carney's, and I've done some bowling at Pinz and stuff. And of course, we're gonna miss Pinz and Carney's, and I get that, and it's hard to have change, but I just wanted to kind of share my support that I really see the potential for this to be really a good thing for everybody. And I've, some of the neighbors around, because there'll be, housing, there'll be the low incoming housing portion. There's going to be new commercial retail, which is going to give opportunities to, I don't know, people to try some new shops and have new businesses there. And then again, I know it's LA, and one of the things that always bugs me is parking, and there's going to be plentiful parking. I've looked at the site, the website. I've read about it, and they're going to have lots of spaces and access. And of course, maybe there's some places to improve. Maybe the signal situation has been improved, but it really sounds like this developer is considering the parking, knowing it's in LA, and going, we're going to have parking for the residents and for the retail. So anyways, I really appreciate you considering my thoughts on this project. And I just wanted to kind of share my experience on how I think it'll be a really great thing for a lot of different reasons. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we have Savannah. Please unmute yourself. You have 2 minutes.
Hi, I'm a student. That's my daughter's name, sorry. I'm a resident of Studio City as well, and I would like some more information on the waivers, including like the density waiver. I know it was mentioned, but further explanation of the requested and approved waivers. Also, has there been any thought given to all of these projects coming up with like a state of emergency? When we had the fires, it was already hard enough to get out of the neighborhood. What kind of thought process has been going into that? And yeah, this is just I can see how it can provide economic value and lower income housing, but the density situation and what we're doing to Studio City, it's just drastically going to change the face of the neighborhood. And I would just like to see a little bit more, hear a little bit more about the waivers that have already been approved. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we're moving on to Wesley Tam. Wesley Tam, please unmute yourself. You have 2 minutes.
Hi, yeah, my name is Wesley. I am a resident of Studio City as well. I am a renter. I live off of Coldwater Canyon Avenue, and I am in full support of this project. I think it's a really great opportunity to bring tons of dense housing to Studio City, particularly along Ventura Boulevard. I did have some questions, though, about the potential for connectivity to the LA River bike path or greenway. I know that just sits just north of Valley Heart, and just would like to know if there's any consideration of how the project would connect to that or provide, recreational opportunities, greater connectivity benefits to that. I also have a question about the parking provisions along Valley Heart Drive. I understand that there's currently parking there, but it does dead end. And so just wanted to know, what the situation with parking would be like on that road versus, the parking for the complex. But yes, overall, in great support of this project. Thank you so much.
Martha Vassell, you can speak now. You have 2 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. The proposal sounds interesting, but I live within 500 feet of the project and uphill. There's a lot of congestion, a lot of concerns about how we are going to get on and off the hill, and our personal safety. We have, of course, there's the Harvard Westlake complex, the Sportsman's Lodge complex, Peter Austin's project, and now this one. These are thousands and thousands of new cars coming into our neighborhood when we already have difficulty getting off the hill. The safety issues are considerable, not to mention years and years of noise and dust. We're going through that with Harvard Westlake right now. The traffic studies, as far as I know, were done during COVID. And I know there's a lot of talk about the lights, but there needs to be a lot more consideration to us who live in the neighborhood. One quick other thing, that flyer that came around to the neighborhood, the font was unreadable. So I think there are some concerns about clarity with the community. Anyways, those are my comments. Thank you.
Thank you. We're now moving on to Kevin. Please unmute yourself. You have 2 minutes. Kevin. Again, Kevin, you have 2 minutes if you'd like to speak.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you. You have 2
Excellent.
minutes.
Sorry, I had up in the top left of my screen. Hi, I'm Kevin. I want to support, voice my support for the Riverwalk Studio City project. I'm quite familiar with the site plan from the website and all the retail and housing in the stores, like where they're going to be in relation to where everybody would live. I think it's going to be such an upgrade to the area, and just an opportunity for like amazing community engagement. I used to live in a development that had working spaces and open plazas like that are on the site plan, and just the ability to walk. And it's so nice to be able to walk to restaurants and stores. I really think it's time to embrace the possibility of this large site, and I really think this project does that. Thank you for your time.
Hello, we have Brad. If you can unmute yourself, and you have 2 minutes. Thank you. Checking in again for Brad. You have 2 minutes. Okay, we're moving on to telephone number ending in 1665. Again, telephone number ending in 1665. You have 2 minutes. Go right ahead.
Hi, I'm calling in today to voice my support of the project. I'm a neighbor of the project in Studio City, and I'm excited for the river connectivity, the new housing it will bring to the community, and I look forward to this development. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Might we have your name caller?
Shauna?
Shauna, thank you so very much for the record. Thank you. Okay, we have Brad once again. If you are willing to speak at this point, Brad.
Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, hi. I'm good. Thanks for taking my call, and good morning to everybody. Calling on the 12551 Ventura Boulevard project, the Riverwalk project. You know, the best thing about this is enhancing the river that runs behind the project. And I know the parking and the open space and everything. And I think the new residents into this area will really appreciate that because, you know, as somebody said earlier, walking your dog and a place to take your dog and so forth. So I think it's going to be a really nice open space. And I understand everybody's concern regarding traffic, and I think the signal will probably take care of that issue. And I don't know about when the study was, but what the heck. So I'm really in support of the project, and I hope the residents will embrace this like we've embraced it in other areas in Southern California. So thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Next, we do have Bart Reed, the Transit Coalition. Bart, you have 2 minutes if you can go ahead and speak. Bart Reed, the Transit Coalition, you have 2 minutes.
I'm sorry, y'all. I have a cat, and
my cat decided that the phone is the perfect place to lay on, so I think that my phone I mute.
I have a cat as well. Go right ahead.
So, anyways, I'm testifying in support of this.
Do I sound okay?
Yes, we can hear you. Go right ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, hang on. Yo.
Yes, Bart, we're able to hear you, but there is a little bit of background noise. We're able to hear you in the meeting. Okay, thank you. You have 2 minutes.
Sorry, Lita, I think Brad has his mic on, so maybe mute him. The previous speaker. Brad, the previous speaker, had his mic on.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Audrey. We'll take care of that.
Hi, hi, this is Bart Reed from the Transit Coalition.
Okay. Did you
actually grew up and went to the bowling alley in the days of it being Kirkwoods. I remember when the train was brought in to put the hamburger stand in, and my mom used to take me when I was a child to shop at Hughes Market, which is now Ralph's across the street. So I'm long familiar with this property, having gone to Art's Deli when I was a child. It's a great neighborhood, and I even remember knowing the guy that owned the now being the Harvard facilities. Anyways, I think the improvements for the community are important. The project's a great project. The reality here is that there's going to be an opportunity for people to live and work within the project area, meaning they don't have to drive anywhere. The one thing I do recommend is that the developer create, along with the adjacent developers, a bus station that's more than just a bus stop, something that offers pickup for transportation network people like me, Uber and Lyft. So you have air-conditioned facility with, say, like a food stand or a coffee shop adjacent, so people can be waiting for their bus or their Uber or their Lyft. And there's a convenient facilities for the riders of the different transportation options that aren't necessarily going to be driving their private cars in and out of the facility. I think that would be a major enhancement of the facility, since to the east there's the entrance for the Universal Red Line, and to the west there's going to be a connection for the train line that goes to UCLA and goes north on Van Nuys Boulevard. So it's a great location. Enhancing it for mobility is going to be important. Having live work on the property is going to be important. And it's just a supreme project. And from my point of view, it probably needs another 200 units, but that's not on the table here. I fully support the project, and I thank you very much. All right, over and out. Bye.
Thank you, Bart. And now we're moving on, and we have. Sorry about that. We're moving on, and we do have a number ending in 3281. Again, 3281. Please unmute yourself. You can speak at this point.
Hi, this is Barry Johnson, president of the Studio City Residents Association. We welcome the additional housing of this project, but we do not welcome the height. This proposed project is in the neighborhood and general commercial plan designation of the specific plan, a designation which is a focal point for surrounding residential neighborhoods and contains a diversity of land uses. The height in this designation for this property would be 30 feet under the specific plan. Our state legislature's density bonus law, and more importantly, how our city and its planning department interpret that law, allow for a height way beyond the scope and character of the neighborhood and general commercial plan designation. This effectively gives our community no say whatsoever. There is also no consideration of the cumulative effect of several large projects on infrastructure, such as streets and utilities. This project is also in the very high fire hazard zone. So we are at the mercy of the owners of this project. The only recourse our community has is to ask the property owner, who, by the way, has owned this property for years and is very familiar with the character of our community, to ask them to build something shorter than 84 feet and more in tune with our community character. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we're moving on to May Woods. You have 2 minutes. You can unmute yourself. You have 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you. I live in Studio City in the Tujunga Village area and often use Ventura Boulevard. So I'm very concerned about the new traffic that's underway. And I was actually shocked when somebody said that the traffic study was done during COVID, because much has changed. There's a change, you know, there's the Harvard Westlake, and there's also the new development where on the corner of Coldwater. So I think it's crucial that that be done again. That's my first comment. And my second comment is, as we've seen buildings develop and they have a component for low income housing, we're always told it can't be more than 20% or 30% or whatever, because it won't pencil out for the developers. Well, here's a situation where there's going to be commercial retail space. So it should be possible for the developer to make it pencil out and give 40%, 70%, 80% low income housing. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so now we're moving on to telephone number ending in 3177. Again, telephone number ending in 3177. You can speak now. You have 2 minutes. Thank you.
My Bill, and I have lived in Studio City for 30 years. I live west of Coldwater Canyon on Ethel, and I do not agree with the project, the scope of the project. I believe that I understand we need housing. I'm all for that. But this is too high. They're going to be too tall and too large. It doesn't need to be, the scope does not need to be as great as that, to the extent where it's going to change the character of our Studio City. I've lived here 30 years and seen this sweet town really gotten just too big. And I believe the cumulative effect must be taken into consideration, which it has not been, with the projects like Harvard Westlake, the Sportsman's Lodge, which, you know, are great into itself. But when you put it all together, we've got the bike path, the north-south bike path that's going to be bringing everybody to the river that they're planning on working on. The cumulative effect of all these projects, changing the character of our Studio City, which I adore, and must be taken into consideration. And I believe it's not. It's just too big, too great. And no, I'm not for this project the way it stands at all. Thank you.
Caller, if you can state your name clearly, we didn't receive it in the beginning of the call.
I'm sorry, my name is Gail Wunsch, W-U-N-S-C-H.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, Sheila, that is the end of the raised hands at this point.
Wonderful, thank you. Thank you everyone for participating and all your public comments. It's very helpful to understand the needs of the community and their concerns. So with that, I'd like to bring back the applicant to here to address the concerns and some questions that were raised. So we're going to go ahead and unmute you again, Kason. And I do have some questions from the public. So why don't we first go ahead and why don't you explain again, I know you summarized during your presentation, but speak to the density bonus application, how many units are going to be affordable, what's the AMI, the area median income, whether the waivers and concessions, and why does the project need them?
Yeah, so we are requesting the density bonus, which will be heard by the CPC at the June 11th hearing. It's a 25% density bonus increase for units, which requires a 7% set aside of very low income units, which is 46 units. And those will be, I don't have the AMI offhand, but we will use the AMI as provided by HCD for County of LA for all of those units. In addition, we're requesting a few incentives and waivers. As I mentioned, the floor area ratio waiver, we're requesting an off-menu incentive to allow a 3.2 to 1 FAR instead of the allowed 1 to 1 FAR as regulated by the specific plan. We're also requesting a waiver of development standards to increase the lot coverage by 23%. To allow for construction of all of the units and commercial space. And then for the waiver of development for the maximum building height, I know a few callers brought that up. The allowed height is 30 feet as allowed in the specific plan. We're requesting 84 feet, and this is to allow for the additional units. This will be 7 stories in height. With the majority concentrated along Ventura Boulevard. As I mentioned in my presentation, we have the open space, the courtyards, pool decks on the river side. So that will hopefully be mindful of integrating with the river to the north. We also have a waiver of development standards to allow for a 1.5-foot rear yard setback. The otherwise allowable setback is 19 feet as required by the LAMC. Obviously, the 19-foot setback would greatly impact the developable area of the site. So the applicant is requesting the 1.5-foot rear yard setback to allow for the buildings as proposed. And finally, there's a waiver of development standards to waive the required transitional height from buildings in a C-zoned lot to the RW zone, which is the river zone. So we're requesting reduced transitional height there. And then lastly, a waiver to allow volume averaging setbacks and hybrid cutouts in lieu of the otherwise required 10-foot setback from the roof perimeter for each 15-foot increment above 25 feet. So essentially a waiver regarding the massing. Hopefully that addresses all of the questions on the density bonus. Was there anything you wanted more information on?
No, that's thorough. Thank you. And just to add to the AMI area median income. So just for the public to know, that is based on the census data. So whatever the area income is for that area, that's what it's based on for low, medium, and income. So it's not citywide. It's based off the census data for that district, for that area. Okay. More questions. So can you explain what kind of benefits the project will be providing, such as maybe you want to talk about the improvements, like any public improvements that the project will provide, also the street signal, maybe clarify a little bit more on that?
Yeah, I think we'll start with addressing the community benefits. And if I could have Nicole Cooklock-Waldman promoted into the presentation. She's been handling our community outreach and really understands the community, so she can speak to some of the benefits that the project is providing.
Nicole has been promoted.
Great, thank you.
Hi, can you hear me? Hi, this is Carol Kuklak-Waldman. I'm the community engagement consultant for this project. So the project has a number of community benefits included. A lot of the benefits are related to obviously affordable housing provision, 46 units of affordable housing at very low income rates, as you mentioned, that are controlled by the AMI. They're controlled by the Department of Housing and covenanted to the Department of Housing so that they are controlled and to ensure that they will be affordable. In addition, the project was designed with the river in mind. So it really opens itself up to the river to create opportunities for engagement on the river, including improved access points for people walking their dogs, riding their bikes, taking a stroll, to create more of a 24-hour active engagement area at the river. Because the project faces the river, there will be a 24-hour environment which is intended really to add activity and presence to the river. In addition, there is an open space area that runs from Ventura through to the other side of the river that will create an opportunity for a public gathering space. It's a private space, but what it will be is it'll be an open space, and it's shown in some of the renderings where there's going to be an opportunity to, for your kids to play while you're eating, and some nice open space improvements there. There will also be several improvements along Valley Heart and along the riverside, in addition to plentiful parking that will exceed expected demand by any course of the imagination. So I'm gonna defer all the traffic and parking items to Eugene Tang from Gibson, but I just did, and those are obviously benefits as well, but I just wanted to clarify those, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. No, not at this time. Nicole, thank you very much. And you said Eugene. Eugene, yes, we do have questions about traffic control, site circulation. Lisa, can you promote him if you see him?
Eugene, is your last name, or is it just under Eugene?
I didn't hear the last name.
The last name
Oh,
is
actually, he has his name raised. He has his hand raised, so I can find him quickly. Thank you. Okay, Eugene, just accept the promotion. Thank you. Okay,
Eugene,
he's promoted.
I see him. Thank you.
Hi, Eugene Tang, Gibson Transportation. Sorry, there's a lot on the screen right now.
Not a problem. Can you kind of just walk us through the site circulation and coming in and out of the site with the customers for the retailers and employees, also for residents and guests of the who will be living there, and just kind of walk us through all of that, and then also traffic light, like, how are people going to be coming in and out of the site?
Sure. Sorry, I have to do this abstractly. I got not able to get a site plan up on screen unless someone can do that for me.
I have one that is actually better than what I had earlier, so I'll go ahead and share that for you, Eugene.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, hopefully that helps.
Okay, so what we have on screen here is the overall site plan of the project. The bottom of the plan is effectively Ventura Boulevard. The top half is the LA River and Valley Heart Boulevard. What you'll see is 4 arrows there. You may need to squint a little bit, but generally speaking, that's 4 arrows, 2 on the backside on Valley Heart, 2 on Ventura Boulevard. Let's work our way from Whitsett east to west here. The 2 arrows on the right side of the site plan, we have Valley Heart and Ventura Boulevard. Both of those driveways will offer full access into the site for residents and commercial users. We've mentioned in the past that the Ventura Boulevard driveway there will be signalized, is proposed to be signalized. It's generally located mid-block for just placement purposes on what's on the ground today. It's generally where the Carney's cars are right now. As we move to the west portion of the site, we have another driveway on Valley Heart and on Ventura Boulevard towards the west. Those are primarily residential parking, although, yeah, primarily residential parking. They're able to get in and out through the two other driveways located to the east, just due to the internal connections in the garage. The Ventura Boulevard driveway to the west is proposed to be right in, right out only, just due to discussion with LADOT. And obviously the Valley Heart one will have full access because it is on Valley Heart Boulevard. So that's overall site access. Circulation around the site, again, we anticipate primary circulation to come through the Ventura Boulevard driveway where it will be signalized. And then as residents get used to where things are, they will gravitate towards the, you know, the lower use driveways on the backside and on the west side of Ventura Boulevard. Sheila, is that
Yes.
you in on that?
Yes, and then would you also, I don't know, maybe this is for Caitlin too. Can you show us a section of the parking and like what it is for the residents, like parking for the residents and parking for the commercial users and how they're separated? I think the public would like to know that.
So
Yes.
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Eugene. Go ahead.
Okay. So lower level, you know, as residents get, I'm sorry, as users get into the lower level garage, it's fully connected across the board. What you will have is gate separation between the residential and commercial uses. There's key card access, you know, whatever pass there is, everyone's got a clicker to get in between. But at the first level, there's potential interaction of residential and commercial parking from the main driveway off of Ventura Boulevard. They will separate to their east-west and lower level parking areas. And as I mentioned, there will be gate separation, so there will not be commercial users finding themselves in the residential parking. The opposite is true where residents can circulate back through and get up and down to the street network. Guest parking for residents is anticipated to be within the commercial area because that is quote unquote open to the public. There will be gate controls, but is otherwise not segregated in that respect.
Thank you. And just for so the public knows, this is AB 2097. So the site is not required to provide parking, but you're providing parking. So speaking about guest parking, guests of the residents coming and using the commercial parking spaces. Again, parking is not required, but you're providing
I believe we're not in the AB 2097 area, so we're providing code required parking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that. Okay, great. Let me see if there were other, I know Nicole touched on it a bit about connectivity with the LA River, but I'm going to ask, does the project provide any improvements that would provide pedestrian and bicycle connectivity to the LA River?
I think, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
No, I was just going to bring back up the site plan so we could see the connection as Nicole was describing. So you can see here, this is the multimodal trail along the LA River that comes out to the corner of Whitsett and Valley Heart. And then this is the plaza that kind of connects us back to Ventura as Nicole was describing. So I just wanted to show that on the screen so everyone could see this kind of connection that brings us through the project and connects out to Ventura. Oops, am I not sharing?
No.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Can you see that?
Yes, we can see it now.
So yeah, like I said, here's the trail along the LA River that comes out to Whitsett and Valley Heart. And then here's the plaza through all of the commercial and restaurant spaces that connects back out at a few places to Ventura Boulevard. So I just wanted to show that on the screen. And then any, improvements in the public right of way, we will comply with BOE as necessary.
Okay, and is there street parking? There were some comments about
Yeah.
that.
I believe right now there's parking on the north side of Valley Heart. I don't know if we've gotten any instruction from DOT regarding that parking, but we're happy to comply with anything that they require. And I don't know, Eugene, if you have any more information there.
No, there aren't any street modifications along Valley Heart that would preclude the ability to park on Valley Heart. Again, our intention is to, provide as required, and we haven't done anything along the backside that would prevent doing so.
Great. Oh, there is a question that Marianne King, she had a question about the street lighting and the tree placement. Can someone speak to that? Or maybe we can wait until the subdivision committee asks their questions and we can speak more technically what the requirement is. Do you want to try or you want to wait for that?
Let's wait on that if possible. I just want to confirm so we're correct on the record.
Okay. Perfect. All right, those are all the questions I think that hopefully were addressed. Let me just look through my notes really very quickly here.
If I may, there were questions about the transportation analysis and when it was completed. Transportation analysis was completed per LADOT requirements. It was completed in 2026 based on recent data, and it does reflect cumulative development in the area and 2026 conditions. So it's currently under LADOT review, and it's, again, transportation also is just recently completed and working its way through LADOT review process. And that's the comment to that for their guidelines and requirements.
Again, so it was not assessed during the pandemic conditions, so it's current conditions.
That is correct. This was done per LADOT standards and requirements. It's recent, and yeah, that's the response to that.
Thank you. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and close public comment period, and we're going to move on with the subdivision committee. Thank you very much. So how shall we begin?
I'm sorry, Sheila,
Yes.
I'm sorry about that. This is Letha, DCP.
Yes.
We do have Steve Wolf, but he's already spoken earlier, so I'll leave the call up to you.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You've already addressed your concern. You can speak to you can give Audrey a call or give her an email, and we can address your concerns after the hearing. Okay, Steve. But we're going to go ahead and move forward.
Thank you so very much, Sheila.
Thank you, Letha. Okay. Well, let's see. So why don't we start with DOT? Miguel?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, this is Miguel from Department of Transportation. Yes, we have, what was it? We do have the traffic study and currently under review, and that's a process for another one of my colleagues. If you want any updates, I can go ahead and let you know. However, in terms of just the recommendation report, we don't have any further comments.
Thank you. Okay. BOE. So, Michael.
Good morning still. We have no further comments beyond our recommendations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I see Audrey has her hand up. Audrey, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to remind, I know you will remember, but just BOE's comment and 5 feet dedication that they're not asking for. So can they elaborate a little bit more so the public would understand about the revised map or final map?
Yes, Michael, let's discuss that. Let me bring up the conditions. So a preliminary report had said there was a 5-foot dedication required, but it's actually not required per the mobility plan 2035. Let's give a moment.
Are we talking about Valley Heart Drive?
Janae, this was on Ventura Boulevard?
Yes, so the applicant, when they were preparing their map, they dedicated 5 feet along Ventura Boulevard. But BOE asked the applicant to not to propose any dedication along Ventura Boulevard. So the applicant is going to submit, on the final map, they're going to submit the map that doesn't show 5-foot dedication based on BOE's recommendation along Ventura Boulevard, not Valley Heart.
So the applicant proposed a 5-foot dedication on Ventura Boulevard on their map stamped, is the October map, correct?
Yes.
October 14th, 2025?
Yes, the one that's circulated.
Are we aware if the applicant was familiar with Council File 22-1476 at the time, which had recently been acted to alter how BOE was taking dedication?
I'll let the applicant speak. Rose?
Thank you so much. If you can hear me?
Yes.
We can.
Okay, great. Rose Vistrovich from SOMAS. We represent the applicant. Just want to remind you, Michael, yes, we have followed the code and BOV requirements, mobility plan, and we were familiar with the recent council file. Based on surrounding neighborhoods and projects, it would make sense that the 5 feet would be consistent, and our map did offer that to follow all the required codes. However, based on the council file and further discussion with BOE, both Central and Valley District, it was decided through the condition that no dedication will be required. So we're still in full compliance to the Subdivision Map Act. Final map will correct everything. We're fully in compliance and consistent with Bureau of Engineering requirements. We're not changing anything. We just want our map to now match Bureau of Engineering recommendation. So for consistency and picture, we have the map that will be with no dedication on Ventura per BOE condition as recommended. So that's just a clarification. We have no changes to anything, no changes to Bureau of Engineering conditions, no changes to the project, absolutely no changes. Just we want to make sure that map shows exactly what Bureau of Engineering is asking us to do.
Okay. Yeah, considering that the applicant in their presentation earlier had no objection to any of our conditions, BOE is satisfied with the map, isn't it? Is satisfied with the staff report.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Ajane. Okay. How about street lighting? Richard, are you still there?
Yeah, our conditions have already been incorporated in the staff report, and we have no further comments.
Great. Okay. And Jeremy from Recreation and Parks.
Hi, our conditions have been incorporated in the staff report, and we have no proposed revisions. Thank you.
Great. Helen, do you have anything you'd like to add?
No, we don't. This is Helen from Building and Safety. We don't have any further comment from the staff report.
Thank you. I think there's a lot of people on here. I think that's everyone on the subdivision committee. I'm just looking through all the names. I think we got everyone. Okay, great. All right. So that concludes our questions with subdivision committee. I know that a lot was said today, a lot of comments in support, and there were a lot of concerns, and hopefully they were addressed. So remember, this is a joint hearing. So we have one is for the subdivision, which I will give a verbal determination in a moment. And then we have the CPC case, which will go to the City Planning Commission for action. And so they are the decision makers. Planning Department is not, City Planning is. So that will move forward in June 11th, okay? And so for the subdivision case, I'm inclined to approve it. The map meets the Subdivision Map Act. It meets the code, LAMC code. So I'm inclined to approve that, but nothing is official until a written determination is issued. So please, if you'd like a copy of that, to request that through Audrey or through the interested parties list. So with that said, this concludes the public hearing for case number VTT-84453 and CPC 2025-5697-DB-PR-SPPC-MCUP-VHCA. Again, this case is scheduled for a decision meeting before City Planning Commission on Thursday, June 11, 2026. Copies of the agenda for that meeting may be obtained approximately 1 week before the meeting date by either calling the Commission office at 213-978-1300 or visiting the Planning Department website at www.planning.lacity.gov. If you would like to receive a determination letter on any of the agenda items from today's meeting, please fill out the interested parties form. The form is located on the link within the meeting agenda. The agenda is available on the department website. You can also directly access the interested parties list by visiting tinyurl.com/interested-parties. Thank you. This concludes the hearing for item number 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.